Today we're looking at the 7 keys to music business success. 7 keys to music business success. This is part 1, presented by me, Bumi Tokon, the musicbusinesscoach.com, where we make music, make money. I want to give you a bit of background about myself. Right now, I'm #1 writer on easing.com for the music industry. I've worked as a music business advisor for the Portobello Business Center, helping over 150 plus music businesses. As part of my experience, I've also lectured at City University on the Cultural Industries Foundation degree and the business planning programs. Part of what I did was to coordinate a work placement scheme linked with the program, which was designed to get all students really on the course to employment. And I helped over 50 students to gain employment within the music business. Let's jump right in. I want to look at a case study which you may have heard of. These guys came onto a program in the UK called Dragon's Den. And you can see in the picture there, Peter Jones, who is one of the entrepreneurs on Dragon's Den. Now, the music group, the band called Hamfata, came on to that program and they managed to raise £75,000. And now, the interesting thing about that was that all the dragons were interested in giving them money. All the dragons wanted to give them money. The dragons were so impressed, they put their hands in their pocket and they were going to give this band a lot of money. Now, why did they get the money? Let's look at that. Let's look at some of the reasons why they got that money. Number 1 was because they had a plan. When they were questioned about their future, their past, they had a lot of things to say about where they were going, what they were doing, even though their sales itself were not that impressive, but they had a plan. The second thing was they had sold some product, which meant that their business was actually a good risk because they had sold some product. Another thing was they were very presentable. Again, their music was just okay. It was not, to me, it was not brilliant. I've heard better music. It was just okay. But still, they managed to raise £75,000. They had an all-round good attitude. So now, what are the keys? What are the keys to music business success? Let's look at the first key. Number 1, you've got to have a plan. You've got to know your destination. You need to know where you're going. You need to know where you're heading. Somebody says, if you don't know where you're going, you won't even know when you get there because you're heading for nowhere. So my first question, the first key to music business success is to have a plan. When I'm talking about having a plan, I'm really looking at what do you plan to do in the next 5-10 years? What kind of sales are you hoping to generate? Who are you hoping will be working with you? What kind of plan do you have for your promotional strategy? What kind of plans do you have for your releases? What kind of plans do you have? If you're a promoter, what kind of venues do you want to work in the next 6 months, in the next 12 months? And having a plan will really, truly help us to understand the costs involved in actually running a music business. And I'm telling you, the music business is a business. It's not a place where you can just think it's just a hobby. No, this is business. You got to make money. You got to be able to quit your day job. And having a plan will help you towards leaving your day job and being able to live on music full time. Then, therefore, the number 1 key of having a plan will help you to understand the costs involved in running a business. Because obviously, if you write a business plan or you write some form of plan. Then you do some financial forecasts, which will help you to know exactly how much it's going to cost. You'll be surprised how many people I meet that say to me they need money. When I ask them how much do they need, they cannot even give me a figure as to what they need. Why? Because they had no plan. The third thing that having a plan will help you to do is to attract the right people. I always give this good example. A friend of mine came to university a few years ago. He was going to set up a record label. And because he had a business plan, he was able to persuade 7 people to come on board and work with him. Now, if he had no plan, he didn't know where he was going, nobody would be interested to work with him. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, you need to build a following. Build a following. Ian Rogers from Topspin, and I suggest that you check out that website, topspin.com. Top as in T-O-P, spin, S-P-I-N.com. His ideology is that you do not start a campaign until you have 2,500 fans if you're an artist or a label. You do not start a campaign until you have 2,500 people. Why is that? Well, that's like the average, what it takes to begin to see some inroads or make some decent money with your music. So, you got to build a following. So how do you build this following? You got to build your following through the social media. That's cheapest way. It's an easy way. Using Facebook, using Twitter, using all kinds of social media sites that you probably know more of, where you can attract fans or attract the clients that you need to begin to purchase your products. Even if you're doing something like pay-per-click, it's still cheaper than advertising sometimes. I mean, advertising in the newspapers sometimes. Number 2 way that you can build a following is by reward for email. So somebody downloads your music, for example, they give you an email for that. Now, lots of artists, particularly, or labels, particular people who create content, or music, now we're talking about, are going online, putting music on YouTube and just hoping it's going to go viral. That's not the way to do it. Try and collect emails. Without emails, you have no list. Without no list, you have no money. The future of the music business is going to be centered around those who have a list. When I'm talking about a list, I'm talking about names of people who like your product or who are potential clients or potential customers, potential fans, people who've got their name, you've got their email, and you've got their mobile number. Because without having an email, without a name, without an email, without a mobile number, you really have nobody to market to. So you're not going to build a following by just giving away your music without getting an email. Another thing is start locally. Don't think about, playing at the O2 yet in London or, some big venue or the Wembley Arena at the moment. Just start locally. Start in a local venue. Start in a local pub. Start in a local live music venue. Just start somewhere. Start locally. Start building your fans. If you're playing to 10 people, if you play to 10 people today, tomorrow, you're going to play to 30 people because why? If you play your heart out to the 10, they're going to get their friends to come along to your next gig. So that is one of the ways. So I've given you 3 ways now that you can build a following. So you need to build a following. That's the second key for music business success. All right. We're going to go on to part 2, but I'd like you to call me for your free 30 minutes consultancy, which is sponsored by Transform Newham. I want you to either email me or give me a call. It's a UK number, 07932 394620. I'll say that number again, 07932 394620. Or Boomy, BOOMY, at themusicbusinesscoach.com. And I will give you a free 30 minutes consultancy, either on the phone or in person if you live in London. Okay, until I see you on part 2, this is Bumi saying thank you.